Game 2 of our NBA doubleheader is presented in 3D where available by Sony. Good evening and welcome to Colorado. On the Front Range of the Rockies, we're at Pepsi Center in Denver. Best team in the NBA this year. San Antonio Spurs taking on the Denver Nuggets. The story out here in the West, San Antonio 7 clear of the Lakers with 12 to go in the loss column, trying to lock down that #1 overall seed in the NBA playoffs. Denver trying to hold off Portland, New Orleans, and Memphis from behind. Still has their eyes on Oklahoma City. The Thunder have already won tonight. Good evening, everyone. Mike Tirico, Hall of Famer, Hubie Brown. Glad you're with us here at Denver. Okay, let's start with Tim Duncan. Injured his ankle Monday, out 3, maybe 4 games. So without him, Hubie, what do the Spurs need to do to keep this #1 seed intact?
Well, this is about Ginobili and Parker stepping up their game even better than what they've been contributing. They've had a terrific year. You can see the 35.5 points. Then also the bench. The bench is productive, getting you 36 to 37% in points. And also the field goal shooting. The three-point shooting has been outstanding. Everyone has got to pick up the slack here.
Okay, we just saw the Knicks lose, and the story, a good part of the night so far on the air, has been the Knicks since the trade. Denver since the trade. Only 4 losses. They've won 10 games. They're playing a great brand of basketball, but there's still a guy left over pre-trade who's doing a terrific job.
Well, I like the fact that Nene at the center position has stepped up his game. He's improved from 12 points a game to 15. He's also leading the league in field goal percentage at 62%, and he's your leading rebounder. Getting more catches, Mike, and then really anchoring the defense here, because their defense is exceptional.
All right, let's check our starting lineups for the 4th and final meeting between these teams this year. The regulars for the Spurs, Parker, Ginobili, Jefferson, and McDyess, are joined by the 26-year-old rookie from Brazil, Thiago Splitter, who's in because of the Tim Duncan injury. Splitter on the Brazilian national team, 9th year out of Brazil is Nene, joined by Kenyon Martin, Ty Lawson, now a starter since the trade, and the 2 guys who came over from the Knicks, Wilson Chandler and Danilo Gallinari. Now the starting guard for the Knicks, Raymond Felton, who's played a backup role here, has been out the last couple of games with an ankle injury, but he will be in the lineup for the Nuggets on the 2nd unit tonight. Meantime, the normal starting 2 guard, Aaron Aflalo, is out with a hamstring injury for Denver. We come out here a lot during the regular season, during the Carmelo Anthony era as well.
Right.
There's a great energy around this franchise right now, Hubie. I think we could feel it in town and talking to the folks here the last
Well,
2
they
days.
should be, Mike. Look, they're 10-4. They have a differential of over 12.5 points. The defense is here now. They're holding teams to 94 points in those 14 encounters. And remember, 10 of the 14 games were against playoff teams.
Manu takes the chip, missed the layup, and Gallinari brings it back for the Nuggets. Ed Malloy tossed it at the center circle. He's our lead official tonight with Tony Brothers and former NBA player Haywood Workman. It is Gallinari going to the basket, and the first foul of the game is called on the Spurs and McDyess.
Mike, the trade brought 5 excellent players that are really giving great depth now to Denver. And when you say Gallinari, Chandler, and Felton, you're talking about 3 guys who started in New York. And then right now, this young man is getting to the line 9 times a game since he joined this ball club, and he's shooting at 89% on the line. So naturally, he should miss this one since we just blew a little smoke on his talent. Okay?
Gallinari gets 1 more. He was the 6th overall pick of that 08 draft. Now, in his 3rd year in the league, the back injury really limited that first season. It changed that foul to Thiago Splitter, not McDyess. We'll watch Splitter very closely here without Tim Duncan. This is a very different San Antonio team. And there's some concern, very small concern. Will they be able to maintain that big advantage and be the #1 seed in the West?
Well, Mike, you're taking away with the 9th leading rebounder and also an outstanding shot blocker that we have in the league in Tim Duncan. Now, that's a large chore for a Splitter to step up, but the main thing for him is, look, play good defense on the Nene and do a good job on the defensive board. You'll be doing your job.
Ball was deflected to Wilson Chandler, able to go to the backcourt to get it and knock down the shot. Chandler since the deal. That was 14th game as a Nugget, averaging 14 a game.
In watching both of these teams now, San Antonio, the #1 3-point shooting team in the league at 40 a game. And then also Denver shoots it at 39%. So the 1st and 3rd 3-point shooting field goal teams are here tonight.
Parker gets the basket, Ty Lawson the foul.
At the line, shooting number 9, Tony Parker.
Best field goal percentage amongst guards in the NBA again this year for Parker at 52%.
I know, and a lot of people, they shake their heads and they say, how does he do it? Well, he gets baskets from the foul line down as well as anybody who's ever played in this game. He is not afraid of the physical contact, and he finishes in traffic.
Kenyon Martin, whose game is rounding into shape. He missed a good part of the early portion of the season after left knee surgery. Chandler short on the three, looking for a call. It'll go the other way.
How am I doing so far? Gallinari at 89 on the line, right? He misses. And we talk about Denver being third. We get an air ball on a three-point attempt by Chandler. But Chandler shot it over 40% for the Knicks. And we know that he can make them, especially under pressure.
Gallinari picked up Ginobili. Manu shoots over Nene and hits a three.
Well, he's the key guy. He's the key guy who can make the big threes, take you off the dribble, the advantage of finishing with the left hand, and then he shoots it at 87 or 88 on the foul line.
Martin, nice spin on McDyess, but couldn't convert.
That was a beautiful move.
Richard Jefferson out of the corner. It's a deep two, and Nene had position on Splitter to get the rebound.
With San Antonio, transition defense tonight is their primary goal, mainly because Denver will push the ball and then also shoot the three quickly.
And that guy's a big reason why you need good transition defense against Denver. Ty Lawson, who had 17 in the first quarter on Monday night against Toronto. Big blowout win, 123-90 for the Nuggets.
Oh, he's quick, Mike.
On the switch, it was Martin guarding. Ginobili's knocked down a couple of threes.
Well, that's a proven offensive player, seeing the mismatch and knowing that Martin was going to play him for the drive. So it just opened up the long jump shot.
Bad feed by Martin. This is a 9-0 Spurs run to build this 8-point early edge. And Antonio McDyess, inserted in the starting lineup a couple of weeks ago for Greg Popovich, wants his defensive presence on the floor as we get closer to playoff time.
Well, he's an excellent rebounder in traffic, a very tough defender, and also a outstanding 50% plus shooter, 15 to 18 feet away from the basket.
Nene curling down the lane for two.
He's got a lot of talent. And it's being proven because they pass him the ball and give him a chance to put the dribble down.
How about another one for Ginobili? This one an air ball. And on the leak out, Gallinari, but the Spurs are back. Gallinari going right at Parker and drawing the foul on Tony.
Now, Tony was looking for a charge there, but give Gallinari a lot of credit. He gave a little dipsy-do in there with his body, and that's what they're seeing, that he's not afraid to take the ball to the rim. See, watch, he gives a little hesitation. He tries to avoid him, so Parker doesn't take it head on. If he would have taken it head on, he would have picked up the charge.
Gallinari's missed 2 free throws. As you mentioned, he's 41 of 46 at the line as a Nugget. There are his combined numbers. First year limited to 28 games because of the back problems. Shot 38% from 3 and averaged 15 points a game last year. Only 22, star in Italy. You're very familiar perhaps with the story of his dad being an outstanding player in Italy and a teammate of Mike D'Antoni's. Mike, who, in addition to coaching the Knicks now, did coach Denver briefly. Another switch, Ginobili with Martin, knocked it away.
Good defense.
And the foul is called.
Now, in the early going, Denver is switching every ball cross. So on a pick and roll or a pick and pop, they are switching. They don't care about the mismatch. That's why you're seeing Martin on Ginobili at different times. They just switched, and you can see right there, Ginobili, once he gets the big man, if he doesn't feel he's in a rhythm, he's going to take you strong to the rim.
Earlier they had a switch out, same situation.
You see, he's going to stare Martin down. Once you play back off of him, you can't play chicken with Ginobili. He's going to shoot the jumper and shoot the three right in your face.
Greg Popovich has told us a few times over the last couple of years, that's the key guy right there. Obviously, without Tim Duncan, you don't have a great franchise and all the success. But he feels the championship success that they had in 03, 05, 07. Martin misses inside, but he's fouled by McDyess. He feels that without Ginobili, they don't win those games and make those big plays at playoff time. And now he's going to have to do it without Tim Duncan. Let's take you back to the injury Monday night against Golden State. Hard to look at, too. And just a grade 1 ankle sprain. They did an MRI after the x-rays were negative, and there was no structural damage. The Spurs are embarking on a 3-game road trip here. This is the first of the 3. Going to Portland and Memphis. And, you know, Hubie, this has happened before, almost the same time of the year, 2005, on an ABC game against Detroit. Duncan injured his ankle, and he was out for about 4 weeks. Played the last 4 games of the regular season. Spurs sprinted through the playoffs and beat Detroit in 7 to win the NBA title.
Well, the naysayers will look at that and say, Mike, that's 6 years ago. Duncan's 34 years old right now. How quick will he recover?
Right.
But we know that he's one of the quickest recovery guys that we have in the league, and he does play with pain. If they're going to go anywhere at playoff time, they need him on a regular basis. We know he's only playing 28 minutes, but at playoff time, he'll do his 36 to 38 minutes. They need the rebounding, the shot blocking, and then the go-to ability for him in the post area to draw the double team. Now there you can see the minutes that he's playing now. Over the last 3 years, they've taken the minutes from 35 to 33 to 28. So naturally, his points are going to be down, and then also his shot attempts.
Foul was on Gallinari, his first. Jefferson misses, well defended by Chandler. That's the one thing these Knicks, former Knicks, have come over and done a nice job with, their defensive effort. Lawson, the quick speed. McDyess, the block, and here comes Parker. Turned away by Chandler.
Well, he read that perfectly, because Chandler, you know, is an excellent athlete and could have possibly blocked that shot.
Splitter, he missed. McDyess kept it alive. Splitter couldn't convert. And it's 3-on-3 back the other way with Gallinari for Denver.
In a game like this, you've got to score there.
Ginobili must feel like what the defenders feel like when they see him. That's the second time Gallinari's had it on Ginobili. It's got elbows and arms and attacking from the angle.
Well, Gallinari is 6'10", Mike, and we know that on that 6'10" frame, he's big. He's big from the waist up. Now, just think about this. This will be his 6th foul shot attempt here as he goes for number 5 and number 6. And we haven't even played a half of the quarter. So you can see that his game has changed here. They want him not just to take threes that he's famous for. They want him to attack the rim because of his size and put the pressure on the smaller people that are playing him.
Will Sevening, athletic trainer for the Spurs, with the 30 seconds to stop the bleeding on Manu Ginobili as Gallinari drove in. Are you surprised, Hubie, how quickly the pieces have come together on this end of the trade?
Well, I think that George explained it perfectly to us today. They play upbeat basketball. The Knicks were playing upbeat basketball. They run an awful lot of set plays out of the half-court game. That's sometimes it resembles what they had in New York. Plus, when you make a trade like this, Mike, you don't put in the whole bag of tricks. What you do is you limit what you put in, make it simple for the guys to adjust, but stake our game. They're still averaging 100.
Nuggets trailing by 6. They're 10-4 since the trade involving Carmelo Anthony and Chauncey Billups going to the Knicks, who with the loss in the first game of our doubleheader have fallen to 7-10. Things are better here, but there is emotion to deal with, and we talked to George Karl this morning about life after Carmelo and the new Nuggets.
I think, you know, for me, it's a celebration, trying to celebrate in a respectful way of the years of Melo and the success that we've had. There was a product of excellence here. I think we professionally tried to convince him to stay and be here. But over the months of it, we realized that that wasn't going to happen. There's a stress to the period of time that went on there, and it got to be hard, got to be difficult. And I'm sure it was difficult for him, too.
I think George makes a good point there, Hubie, as Gallinari makes both free throws, make it a 5-point game. The Carmelo Anthony era had a lot of wins here in Denver. Lawson off the turnover, makes it 15-12. They went from a 17-win team to 43, 49, 44, 45, 50, 54, and 53 wins. They won a bunch of games, got to the playoffs every year.
Well, he was a major scorer, one of the top scorers in the league as you look at the 7 years of playoffs. Now, they reached the Western Conference Finals on one occasion and lost, but in 6 other years, they lost in the first round.
Right.
Now, that has something to say.
Right.
But right now, they have picked up 5 excellent players. They get 2 second-round draft picks over the next 2 years, and then they get a first, okay, from New York. So they're going to have 6 quality players out of this trade as you look down the line.
No subs either way. 6.5 gone in the first. 5-point Spurs lead. Ginobili has hit 2, missed it. Gallinari leaking out on Ginobili.
Now you have to be careful here now. In this building, this team averages over 110 points a game. They get out on the break. Now the long passes that you just seen, that's how they play. And right now they are trapping Ginobili and Parker, which they did not do before that last time out.
Ginobili over Gallinari, missed the 3, splitter, nice rebound. He had a double-double in the game on Monday. Finds a cutting Tony Parker for 2. There's a lot of talent there in splitter. He was the MVP in the Spanish League of the regular season and the playoffs as his team won the finals last year. Now guarding fellow Brazilian Nene.
The big thing that San Antonio is trying to do here is beat Denver in Denver without a post-up game or any type of second shot scores. And that's going to be difficult to do. They're going to need to get out on the break, and they're going to need to have to get some second shots and hit the threes.
2 perimeter jumpers right in the range of Antonio McDyess. It's been close, but has not found that championship ring, hoping this is the year. This being McDyess' 15th year in the league out of Alabama. San Antonio won all 3 games in this series. They were played in a 30-day stretch. And by 13, 6, and by 1 here in Denver in December. But obviously the Nuggets are a far different group. Parker inside. Nice. Gallinari picks up the foul.
Now, that was a beautiful move. Great head fake by Tony Parker. He was behind the basket, and he knew that he could not get off a good shot attempt. And that was just a smart move. Give him the pump fake, cause the collision to get on the foul line.
The foul on Gallinari is second. Here's George Karl in a recent timeout.
Transition. We need more commitment to run with everybody. We have 2 or 3 guys running. We need everybody to run.
Well, he's right on the money because he knows that you have to wear these people down. And you are better athletically, say, than they are as you go from a 9-man rotation versus their 9-man rotation. So you want to keep the pressure on. Also, the high altitude in Denver is in their favor, so that's why they love to keep pushing. The main thing with this team is they've got to begin to win on the road. That's where they struggle. They're only 14-22 on the road. Great home record.
Raymond Felton, first game after missing 2 with the ankle sprain. He's at the point guard spot as that pass was thrown out of bounds by Kenyon Martin. The other subs that came in a moment ago. Gallinari's out with 2 fouls. Chandler back in now. And J.R. Smith also in for Denver, coming off what was called by George Karl one of his smarter games as a Nugget. That's not something we often say with J.R. Smith. A smart floor game. But Lawson was out on the bench because he couldn't play 48 minutes. Felton missing with the ankle injury as Parker scores inside and takes the lead up to 11. 8 in a row for the Spurs. J.R. Smith came in, played a very smart floor game when he played the point. So good signs from Smith as well.
Mike, 13 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. And even he said probably his best all-around game ever here in Denver.
Putting on the moves on George Hill. We know he can do that. And Smith can get hot as quick as any player here in the league.
That's right. He's one of the best that we have. As far as, you know, coming in, hitting that first shot, and then running off maybe 10 or 12.
Matt Bonner bodied inside, missed the shot, but Kenyon Martin is called for his second foul. So Martin and Gallinari, 2 early fouls for Denver. 2.5 to go here in the first, and J.R. Smith coming off that good performance, and he has played very well since the trade. Trying to get Denver back in it. Struggling right now. Lead by 9 here in Denver. Let's remind you the national TV coverage of the NBA the rest of this week and next. NBA TV on Friday will have the New Orleans-Phoenix game with coverage beginning 9:30 Eastern. Very important games for Phoenix here in the playoff chase. On ESPN, we'll have a Sunday night doubleheader. Portland taking on Oklahoma City, and again the Suns hosting Dallas. TNT on Thursday, we'll have the Spurs back home taking on Boston, and Dallas and the Lakers. And we'll see the Nuggets in L.A. 1 week from Sunday in our Sunday showcase. Well, Hubie and I will be in San Antonio to watch the Spurs take on Phoenix. What a game last night, the triple overtime game won by the Lakers, and a very damaging loss for the Suns in the playoff chase.
I agree, Mike. It was a great game for any fan that loves basketball. It was high-pressured shooting, and then when Fry went to the foul line and had to make 3 foul shots to tie the game, he did it. And then in the second overtime, Gasol had to do the same thing. He made 2 fouls. But the baskets at both ends of the floor, the plays that were made by the star players, it was just a great game to watch.
Lakers getting the victory. They're 7 behind the Spurs in the loss column for that top spot in the West. Al Harrington has checked in for Denver, and a foul was called on Gary Neal of San Antonio. Neal, Matt Bonner, George Hill, and DeJuan Blair joining Tony Parker on the floor here for San Antonio.
Now with these 2 foul shots, Denver will attempt their 9th and 10th foul shots of the game. They lead the league in 30 foul shot attempts a game. Oklahoma City is 2nd, Miami is 3rd. And this is how they get to you, because they're going to keep up this pace for 48 minutes. Right now, we said Parker and Ginobili have got to play well. Hey, they have 17 points already and doing a great job. But you have to keep it up for the full 48 minutes in this building.
Nine-point lead for the Spurs, who've been the #1 team in the NBA, really wire to wire. And a chance to close out one of the best seasons in franchise history here over these last 12 games. Matt Bonner missed the runner, and here goes Harrington, who broke out of a slump with 15 points on Monday night. Smith. Rebounded by DeJuan Blair as he returns to the lineup.
Yeah, you got to get back when Parker does that.
Hill missed 3 Blair with a putback with the right hand.
Whoa! Big fella. I mean, he cleaned out some space there. He came running down in. There was no one there. But what a great move by Blair.
Sprained left wrist has kept Blair out the last couple of games. He started most of the year. Greg Popovich has made him a reserve now. Did a good job checking out the Birdman. Chris Anderson on the rebound, and back come the Spurs up 11.
Right now, Denver does not have an offensive rebound. When you consider the fact that they're shooting less than 40%, you know, that's a terrible stat.
Bench yelled at Gary Neal to take Harrington. He lost the handle. Now he's got it back and he'll shoot a 3. And he's hit a lot of those. Gary Neal, who has hit 106 3-point shots on the season, second most by an undrafted rookie in NBA history.
Mike, he shoots it over 40%, and you just like the fact that each month his scoring has increased to he's a shade under 13 points a game for the month of March. Now that's hard to do off the bench.
Harrington twisting inside. A lot of one-on-one from the Nuggets in the half court. And a foul is called. Here's Blair coming down the aisle.
Now this is just good play, because this group of people, there are 4 guys coming off the bench. Hill and Neal and Bonner and Blair. They, between them, score a shade under 37 points a game. 3 of them are excellent 3-point shooters. They shoot over 40%. So when you play this group and they are coming at you, you have to understand that they'll shoot the 3 at a drop of a hat. And I like what Pop is doing. He had Parker in there with him before. Now he's come right back with Ginobili.
Harrington short on that, but the Birdman kept it alive. Anderson tipped it out. Here's J.R. Smith. A 3, J.R. Ten-point Spurs lead, final minute, first quarter. Blair had nowhere to go with Anderson. And on the turnover, Smith leads the charge. Put that elbow down, and he hit the deck hard. But again, Hubie, more free throw attempts here for the Nuggets. It'll be numbers 13 and 14.
Well, you can see that Smith has come into this game, and he is bent on not passing the ball. I mean, he is looking to shoot every single opportunity.
He's going to live off that one smart game.
That's exactly right. I'll tell you, that could have been an offensive foul, right? He dropped that right shoulder right into the chest of the defender. But because you're on the road, you're going to get that call. And the fact he's so quick that he will blow right by you, but you try to keep him in front of you because he's just missed his last couple of jumpers. Just force him to take the jumper.
Both Ty Lawson and Raymond Felton in at the same time, and this has worked well in stretches here for George Karl since the trade. Smith now has 9 points in his brief 3 minutes of action.
That's the first time we've seen the zone press. They get the trap, and then they, after the first pass over the trap, they're going to match up and play. I like what we've seen from Denver. Now they've changed defenses here 3 different times.
3 on the shot clock. Spurs going to have to force one. It will be Neal. Beats the clock, missed the shot, but Blair gets the putback as the time runs down. Felton into the quarter. 10-point San Antonio lead.
Right now, we're just seeing exactly what type of game that we thought. Everything is quick. Also, a lot of dribble penetration, and then also stop-and-go jump shooters. Big thing for Denver now. They've got to keep San Antonio off the offensive board.
A lot to like after the first quarter. What'd you like the most?
Well, I thought that we played pretty good defense except for the fouls. You know, they got 14 free throws, but I thought in general we got back pretty good and we moved the ball fairly well.
And without Duncan, Splitter and Blair will be important. How did they play in the first quarter?
I thought they were aggressive. You know, they worked the board, and that's what we want them to do. They got a rebound for us.
Thanks, Greg.
You bet.
Greg Popovich, Spurs coach. Mike Tirico, Hubie Brown with you. After one, 10-point Spurs lead from the outside. The second quarter opens with an Al Harrington three-point shot.
Well, when Harrington comes in the game, he's a three-point shooter that shoots at around 40%. And you know that he's looking for that. He's going to stay outside the three-point line.
This guy shoots a whole bunch of threes. Matt Bonner left free for 3. He was over 50% for a good part of the season, but he's only hit 4 of his last 16 threes until that one. Good speed inside, got away from Chris Anderson. George Hill brings it back. And here's Neal for 2.
I think that Denver has got to be upset about the fact that the guards and the perimeter people, small forwards, are beating them off the dribble, Mike, getting into the paint, and then many times getting to the rim for the layup.
It's one of the poor defensive efforts for the Nuggets since the trade. And credit the Spurs playing good basketball. As Hill was driving, the foul is going to be called on Raymond Felton. Talk about this San Antonio season. It's been great, Hubie, at 57 and 13. So good down in San Antonio and tied for the best record on the road in the league for the 12th straight year. 50 wins, tying the record held by the Lakers in the 80s and early 90s.
Mike, the thing that you love about this organization, they're 24 and 11 against the plus 500 team. But what they do is they beat the sub 500s. They're 32 and 2 against the sub 500 teams. And you say, well, what's the difference? Well, Denver has lost 12 games against sub 500, and that's such a major difference. But they get prepared and they get motivated by the coaching staff, and they understand the big thing in this game is to get a W. Do not allow the sub 500s to spoil your season, especially where you might lose a home court advantage.
Nice block by Bonner. Very quick 3 by JR, and it goes down to 10 of the Nuggets' 30. Scored by Smith.
Mike, he's rolling. I mean, he's rolling right now. He's come in tonight. He has the feel.
Blair putting the moves on Anderson and gets it. So San Antonio shooting a very high percentage here. Near 54% as they lead by 13. Hubie, what do you think of Felton and Lawson, 2 point guards in the lineup together?
Well, I like it, mainly because it's been very successful for them. They put a lot of pressure on you in the open floor. Both guys are scoring over 15 points a game, and they're also getting close to 8 to 9 assists a game. So you like to see that. And see, this is the advantage, because if it isn't this guy, it's Felton. But Lawson in the open floor, Mike, one of the best that we have. One of the quickest guys from circle to circle at the other end.
Well, you have Felton, who was doing a very good job as a starting point guard for the Knicks, and Lawson, who was backing up Chauncey Billups and then became the starter here. So you have 2 starting point guards that you can put out there with good quick hands by Lawson. Harrington on Hill. Free throws coming.
This is about quickness defensively. They're not posting up these guys, but here in the open floor, just watch as he blows by. See, he gave that little hesitation, shoulder fake, see, right there, and it just takes him right to the rim. That created the opening. A lot of guys like to go down in that situation, whether they change direction or they come down and they run a reverse dribble. By running a reverse dribble, they get the defender on their back, and it's easy to lay it up off the glass.
Al Harrington takes the 15th and 16th free throws for Denver here in the first 15 minutes of this game out of St. Patrick's High School in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Was a high school All-American, came right out, 6 years with the Pacers, then a stint with Atlanta, Golden State, the Knicks, and then coming here to the Nuggets. 5th NBA team, signed as a free agent in the offseason. Eel out of the corner knocks down another three-pointer.
Mike, if you're going to trap Ginobili and Parker, they'll make the first pass. The second pass into the corner, the man is open. San Antonio will not miss that guy. It'll put pressure on that man in the corner, though, to shoot a high percentage.
Lawson and Felton were working at two-man game. Look at Lawson, smallest guy on the floor, got the rebound and scored.
Yeah, see, that's disappointing. Remember we tell you about fatigue now. Denver is going to keep coming at you with a wave of guys. They're 10 deep now. They can go at you small, big.
Look at Ginobili snake his way to the basket for 2.
The people are getting upset here right now because they're seeing too many layups.
Fighting through, waiting for a call of some sort, and a poke in the eye. I don't know if it's a foul call by Ed Malloy, or if he's stopping the game because Smith got poked in the eye. Yes, he will get the foul call on Ginobili, and we'll get a timeout as J.R. Smith took a shot in the face. Spurs, a lot of offense, 9 layups and 5 threes.
ESPN's presentation of NBA Wednesday, brought to you by GMC. It's GMC Truck Month. Time to trade up to the best Sierra ever.
Kevin, Houston's tied with Phoenix with 34 losses as well, so that Mavericks-Suns game will be an important one Sunday here on ESPN. And we'll start you with Portland, the team 6 in the West right now, taking on Oklahoma City, the number 4 seed in the West. That's their lineup Sunday night on ESPN. Harrington out of the timeout, rattles home the 3. We've had 9 three-pointers made here tonight, 5 by the Spurs and 4 by the Nuggets.
Well, bench production, Mike, has been terrific. 21 points for San Antonio, 21 for Denver.
Wow. Richard Jefferson back in with Bonner, Hill, Blair, and Gary Neal, the rookie. There's Jefferson out of the corner. Short on the 3, but Bonner's hustle kept it alive.
Jefferson is a proven scorer in this league, Mike. He's got to get his game together because without Duncan for 3 more games after tonight against plus 500 teams, he has got to score the ball. It will take a lot of pressure off the other frontline people because you cannot think that Ginobili as well as Parker can keep the first unit head-to-head every night on the road.
Rookie out of Towson, Gary Neal at the line. Missed the first. Maybe let's go back to Richard Jefferson as Parker checks back in. Greg Popovich called him into his office at the end of last season, about a week after the season, and really challenged him about the rest of his career. How does he want to be remembered? And Jefferson, to his credit, broke down every part of his game back to some very basic fundamental drills to rework his shot, his game, and Pop gives Jefferson, a veteran with 9 prior years in the league, a lot of credit for being willing to do that at this late stage.
No, you give him all the credit for doing that. But now, he started the year, first month 14, next month 12 to 9 to 9, now only 7.
Right.
And with Duncan out of there, there's going to be plenty of shots for that small forward position.
Hey, Nene did a great job finding Gallinari, but Dewan Blair gets his block. Had a great hustle play earlier. Blair's had a nice impact for the Spurs back in the lineup tonight. With Parker. Neal. This guy has been really good. The question is, will Gary Neal make the threes when we get to the postseason the way he's done in the regular season? He's got 3 more here tonight, and 108 on the season.
Like, just think about this. San Antonio, number 1 in the league in making threes. They're 6 for 9 tonight.
Gallinari came off the bench, missed the first, got that one. Very high-scoring game. Spurs by 10 as we approach the halfway point of the first half.
This is a little bit like an old ABA game back in the 70s in this building.
Well, we've got 2 former ABA franchises in the Spurs and the Nuggets. And you have Denver's coach, George Karl, who played for the ABA Spurs. But how about Neal? Give him the red, white, and blue ball at this point for the ABA.
Hey, 4 for 4, not bad coming in off the bench. That's what we tell you. With this bench crew, Bonner, Neal, and Hill, they can make the 3-ball.
J.R. Smith feeling left out. Hasn't taken a shot in about 2 minutes. He has 14 to lead Denver. On the switch, Gallinari guarding Parker. Jefferson. The shot does look off. Great hustle by Jefferson to keep it alive, but Felton gets it. JR lifting and launching. Bonner the board. Timeout coming here from Greg Popovich. Spurs shooting 54% from the field and leading 55-44. Dewan Blair, after the 2 games out of the lineup with a sprained wrist, back at it. And this guy's been the one who's killed him all night.
Well, he has a lot of confidence, Mike. He's shooting it over 40%. You're talking about an undrafted rookie in this year who has stepped up. He's averaging at a shade under 13 points for the month of March.
Time to take a look at our Sony big picture, and you have 2 point guards now who have more in common. Ty Lawson and Raymond Felton. Of course, you take Felton and Lawson, and they've had championship experience, winning the national championship during their North Carolina days. Felton in 05, Lawson in 09 when they beat Michigan State for the title. Now reunited here in Denver. 2 guys who know each other's game, really following one and another, and playing in the alumni games back in Chapel Hill. Here they are, and their friendship and that Carolina bond, which over the years as you travel around the league is one of the stronger alumni bonds of any college that has sent numerous players to the NBA. It's helped these guys share the minutes and share the time in this situation here.
Well, they're fortunate right now with Flalo out with the hamstring injury, so it makes it easier for George to give them the necessary minutes. What will happen once he comes back now, that's going to put a lot of pressure on everybody in playing the total team game as your minutes are lowered.
Lawson on the bench, Felton on the floor. Parker short on the 3. Here comes the former Knick, Raymond Felton. Draws a crowd. Gallinari's free. Oh, another 3. So Danilo Gallinari now knocks down his second.
We told you now that Denver is the 3rd best shooting team. They're 6 for 10 in threes. At the other end, San Antonio's number 1 in the league in 3-point shooting. They're 7 for 12. I mean, we are seeing some big-time shooting here.
A block by Chandler sends Felton the other way.
Here they come.
Harrington, oh, spinning and a foul.
Hey, this is what you have to maintain your discipline. because just think in this quarter, Blair saved a layup with a block. Jefferson saved one with a great steal. Now this is just a terrific finish by Harrington. And when you look at this now, Harrington has come off the bench with 11 points, and J.R. Smith has 14. So between two guys, they've got 25. Now at the other end, off the bench, Hill, Blair, Bonner, and Neal, they have 28. That's why you're going to have two of the most productive benches. And we all know that there are other people here that can score the basketball. Felton still hasn't scored. He left the Knicks as over a 15-point score, and also we know that he can score the ball. That will come with time. He's coming off a bad ankle here, where he's missed the 2 games.
This is big for Al Harrington, Hubie, as we get toward playoff time.
Yeah.
He has a dozen points here tonight, 15 in his last game. Guy averaged 10 during the season and has struggled. Nene leads the charge. Here's Harrington, bodied by McDyess. And the foul's called on Antonio. And you can see that Denver bench reacting to Harrington showing signs again.
I like what you're seeing here tonight. See, guys are going to the basket and they want the contact. It's a great steal right here by Nene. Watch, see, Splitter, that was too slow. You can't bring the ball right in front of the man. And then Nene made a great pass. Put a lot of pressure on Harrington to finish. I like the fact that he wanted the contact.
George Karl told us this morning, one of the things he loves about the depth that the trade has brought is that he has a hammer in his hand that's different now. And that's playing time. Because at every position, there's somebody with depth, which saves you for injuries and foul trouble, but also pushes the other guys in practice. So he's got maximum effort coming from all top 10 on his team.
Right, they have great athletic quickness. They can play small, they can play big. They switch like they just did right here. And look at Harrington chasing Ginobili here right now. Now you say, well, Ginobili's got a mismatch. Yes, he does. Well, how about that? He just took him right out of that 3.
And forces a late shot clock shot from Jefferson, who knocked it down.
Well, we've been looking for him to score, and that was a big shot.
First basket after 4 misses for RJ. Spurs is led by as many as 14, but the 3 from the outside by Felton brings it down to 2.
They're making this 3 ball look so easy, Mike.
Both teams, great 3-point shooting here tonight. Parker and 1. Tony Parker will get to the line.
They've got to get back to Ginobili and Parker in areas where they can get off to the dribble and get into the paint so they can finish. Now this is just another great play by Jefferson. He checked the clock. He knew the clock was down at 1. He had to take the shot. Now this is, hey, you're going to go under the screen. I'm going to step back and shoot the basketball. It isn't like Lawson cannot shoot the long shot. It's just that he was unselfish by constantly getting into the paint and setting up other people.
Parker doesn't convert the 3-point play, so Felton stays out here at the back end of the quarter. Gallinari checks back in with Harrington to the bench. Gallinari a 3. Chandler, Nene, and Kenyon Martin joining him. San Antonio back to its starting 5 with Thiago Splitter for the injured Duncan. Off the Parker miss, here's Kenyon Martin, Denver.
Now this is where you have to stop them in a transition game.
3 hands, got a hand on it. Felton kept possession. Chandler finds the line. Now cutting to the basket, Nene with the feed.
What a beautiful pass by Nene. He caught Chandler on a split vision and saw him running that baseline. Beautiful pass.
Greg Popovich takes timeout. Nice comeback here for the Nuggets, who were down 41-27 and have gone 30-18-6.
Now keep an eye on Nene. See, he just caught Chandler making a move on the baseline. And I like Chandler's game. He's got the 3-point game, the mid-range, and he loves to take it strong to the rim.
Evan, see you at halftime. Here Denver has cut a 14-point lead of the Spurs down to 2. And you mentioned Missouri. That's of great interest to this gentleman. Josh Kroenke, the 30-year-old, on the right. His dad, Stan Kroenke, on the left. The Stan Kroenke sports empire, including Arsenal, the great soccer team in the EPL, had the Nuggets and the Avalanche and the other teams out here in Denver. Ginobili goes inside to get the two. Stan bought the controlling interest of the St. Louis Rams, had to divest of his interest here with the Denver sports franchises. So Josh is taken over in charge of the Nuggets. Foul on the lob to Kenyon Martin, and they'll bring free throws for Denver. Josh played at the University of Missouri, 30 years old,
yes, right.
3 years in the front office, running the team. He was a scholarship player, a top 50 player nationally by several recruiting services. Josh had to come in here in a very tough circumstance, taking over for his dad, one of the most respected sports owners all over the world, if you consider Arsenal the great soccer team. And Josh and Masai Ujiri, the first-year general manager, had to deal with how do we handle the Carmelo Anthony situation. And it's really worked out well when you see what they got in the trade.
Well, Mike, you can never say, well, you got to wait to see if the trade is a good trade.
Right.
Right here, the attitude, the environment, the chemistry, the building intensity, the people love what they're seeing because they're seeing the defense, they're seeing the fast break game, they're seeing the three-point shooting, getting to the foul line, and then multiple players playing at a high intensity. They're averaging 107 and only giving up 94 in those 14 games.
You saw some of the defense there on the double of Ginobili, but Neal comes free. What a great job out of the Spurs to work it around at a big half. For Neal, he has 17 in the first 24 minutes. Chandler, Nene.
That's what you want to see more of. When Nene sits those high screens along with Martin and they roll to the basket, get them the ball because there's no one down on the painted area to help out on the rotation.
And Chandler is good being involved in those pick and roll decisions. Ginobili, another three for Manu, who was hot in the first half. He now has 3 on the game. The Spurs have made 8 3-pointers.
Mike, it's 15 for 26 in threes at both ends here.
Chandler knocks down a pouring 2. 66-62.
I tell you, the up and down. No, I'm laughing because it's up and down so quick, and you blink. If you turn your head and you look down at your paper, somebody had scored. Now this guy's feeling it again. He's picking up how he started in the first quarter.
Back-to-back threes from Ginobili. 16 threes in the first half between the teams. Elton is closing out this half as he has played better than Lawson.
It's easy to say in this game, get your body in front of the guy with the dribble. But we have some of the most explosive dribblers in the league in this game here tonight. Great quickness.
Foul to give for Denver. 2.5 difference on the clocks. Neal.
Now,
McDyess got it off in time. End of the half. Very good. Very entertaining half. 69-64. San Antonio. Just heard from Kevin Connors a moment ago. He's standing by with the Toyota halftime report. Talk about the race to #1 in the East. A setback for Boston after that impressive showing for 2 straight nights from the Bulls. And the story out here in the Western playoff, pushed with the regular season ending 3 weeks from tonight. 6 players in double figures. Both teams shooting over 50% from the field. Ginobili, Neal, and Parker. Very impressive. 46 of the San Antonio 69. Toyota halftime show coming up. Back to Kevin Connors in the studio. The best team in the NBA this year, the 57-13 San Antonio Spurs, and the new look Denver Nuggets. Entertaining first half with the Spurs leading by 5. Presented in 3D, where available by Sony. San Antonio led by 10 after the first, by 14 during the second quarter, but Denver turned up the defense to make it a 5-point game as we get set to start the third quarter here at the Pepsi Center.
Get back into the game mentally and with your defense. Good basketball decisions. Good decisions. Not bad decisions. Not bad shots. Good shot. Smart shot.
And Hubie Brown, we saw more of that from Denver in the last half of the second quarter.
Well, you can see the fast break, Mike, 16-2 in fast break points in favor of Denver. The defense definitely stepped it up, and they scored 40 points in that second quarter. The break was there, getting to the foul line 21 times, everyone pitching in, and great bench points.
And let's look at all of the Burger King first half stats. You see the great three-point shooting, 16 of 27 for these two teams. Big advantage for Denver on the break. And Hubie, we talk about the threes. Tony Parker had a good floor game, but Ginobili and Gary Neal were great for the Spurs.
Well, they did it at both ends of the floor, as well as shooting a high percentage, Mike. And when you look at the points for both guys, San Antonio has 3 guys in double figures, and Denver has 3 guys in double figures. Now, you're right here. Ginobili and Neal, terrific. The shooting percentage, great. But how about the threes? Between them, 8 for 11. And that told the story. And now right here, Ginobili was just, he had it right from the beginning of the game on the threes. Gary Neal came in, and then he just kept it going. We told you, Ginobili, they need a big game out of he and Parker. All right, they have 18 and 11. Neal off the bench with a solid 17. So it's just been a great half for perimeter play, and now it's going to be, can San Antonio continue this pace?
10 who started the game start the third quarter. Nene inside. Haven't seen as much inside from Nene with all the perimeter stuff. He has only 4 points. 6 to shoot. Wilson Chandler from the outside. Short and Thiago Splitter getting the start because of the Tim Duncan ankle sprain. Works with Parker, McDyess, Jefferson, and the red-hot Ginobili for the Spurs. Mano got a nice screen from McDyess. Couldn't convert. Wilson Chandler for the Nuggets.
So I thought that Ginobili got hit on that shot. It definitely changed the arc of the shot.
Kenyon Martin goes Duncan using the glass over McDyess to get the Nuggets within 3.
Now that was his first field goal, but that's okay as long as he anchors the defense. And when Harrington came in the game, Harrington gave him 14 points at that position. Here's that trap, Mike. There's that trap.
That's right. They worked it around nicely to Jefferson, who hits the 3. So Richard Jefferson, who missed his first 4 field goals, has hit his last 2. And Spurs by 6. Lawson on the bench at the back end of that first half because Felton had it going. And George Karl has that luxury. He can stay with the hot hand of those point guards. Ginobili. Lawson finds Chandler.
This is
at 2 points and 5 boards in the first half.
Yeah, Mike, and he's doing his job. He's doing what he's supposed to do. The main thing right now is can San Antonio get some easy points out on the break?
Look at Kenyon Martin get tackled by Antonio McDyess. And the foul was called. McDyess seems to be shaken up.
Yeah, with 2 guys going strong for the ball.
A couple of veterans and also a couple of guys who have had a lot of injuries in their careers. Of course, Martin has had the multiple injuries to his knee, and McDyess's knee injury short-circuited a great all-star career. The first half bench production from Al Harrington and J.R. Smith. Big reason Denver got back in it.
Good defense by McDyess. He got a piece of that shot. Good trap.
Nene and Gallinari, a lot of size there, trapping Ginobili, who wanted the foul. Look at Gallinari explode to the basket, but he couldn't finish.
Oh, come on now. You got to run back. You got to run back.
Splitter set a nice screen for Parker to tee up Jefferson. Well, they couldn't keep up the first half pace. They have gone cold here in the second half. Stays with the Spurs.
Yeah, both teams are getting good looks at the basket, and you're going to see the trap. See, they're trapping Ginobili, and they're trapping Parker, and it's coming like every other time. And now that's just Gallinari not sending it down. He didn't get up high enough to really put the dunk over the front of the rim.
Well, Hubie, you like this defensive thought from Denver without Duncan? Splitter, the quick hook, no. McDyess keeps it alive. You like trapping Parker and Ginobili?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, what they're doing is they're putting the pressure on other people.
Right.
Now they've got Parker somewhat under control. He only had 11 points at halftime.
Look at him, though. How quick.
Nice.
How good inside.
See, Tony's got to keep it up. And then also we know that Ginobili's got to have a hot hand. Once again then, can the bench come in and give you 30 points and shoot a high percentage?
Nene cruises right to the basket, and the foul is called on Splitter.
Late call, a very late call that time. And when you go on that, like this is a great move by Parker. See, Parker is so good at going down, elevating, and scoring. But if he feels that he's trapped, he will give you the ball fake and the head fake, and then once you leave your feet and come down, he's right back up at the rim.
One more for Nene at the line. You know, Hubie, we talk about all of the former Knicks that are here with Chandler and Gallinari and Felton and Timofey Moskov on the bench. Well, Nene was drafted 7th overall by the Knicks in 2002. It was an immediate draft night trade with Marcus Camby and our Mark Jackson for Antonio McDyess.
First time I saw Nene was in a Goodwill Games in Australia. He was 18 years of age. Well, what a talent.
Had a battle with testicular cancer that he was able to overcome and having one of his better seasons. Pushing the back, Gallinari called here for the foul.
Yeah, I like what we're seeing in Splitter. You know, he's not getting any catches, very few catches, very few opportunities to get a shot off. But he's continually running hard. He's rebounding the basketball for them, and he's doing a fairly decent job on Nene defensively.
Spurs took Splitter with the 28th overall pick in the 07 draft. They trap it to get it out of Parker's hands. There's Splitter facing on Gallinari.
Nice block.
Chandler coming over from the weak side. They said that is something he has added to this team.
See, this is what he can do.
Ooh, hard collision.
Yeah.
And in the circle. So the foul is called on the Spurs.
Mike, not only did they get the block, but he gets the ball out on the break on the dribble. He just advances the ball. Now keep an eye what's going to happen here. You get the shot block, and now he'll push the ball. 6'10", and remember now, he's going strong to the rim. Now it was debatable how close that was to either being inside or outside or on the line of the defensive circle. See, I like what he's showing the fans here.
Gallinari?
Oh, yeah.
Going.
Come
Physical.
Oh, Mike,
Right?
come on. He's attacking the rim. And he's just throwing his body at everything, and he's getting to the line. This is something which we did not see in New York.
He struggled just a little bit here at the line tonight. 5 of 8 for a guy who's shot it so well here in Denver. But Hubie's on pace. Last 4 games, 11.5 free throw attempts. Might do that again here tonight.
Like when you shoot 89%, some nights you'll have a tough night, but the majority of nights you're going to knock them down.
Antonio McDyess with the outside shot. Spurs by 7. Attacked by Chandler off the wing to Martin inside. Good defense by the Spurs. They've always been good about having a big guy at the rim with this great run they've had.
San Antonio spacing all night has been pretty good. But the trapping has definitely caused the problem. Because any time that you trap now, the size of the players that are trapping Parker and Ginobili, they're making it difficult for them to see over the top to hit anyone in the lane.
Second foul on Nene. 2 on the Nuggets here early in the third. San Antonio's committed 3 fouls.
Nice.
Parker split the trap that time with a teardrop on top.
That's picturesque. That's what you love to show all the guards at the high school and college level. Splitting the trap when you see the daylight and then finishing right in their face.
Seven to shoot, Wilson Chandler. Look at Ginobili go in there again.
Ginobili.
He's one of your favorites, isn't he? Timeout, San Antonio.
Ginobili does it all. Ginobili scores, he rebounds, he gets assists, he dives on the floor, and you foul him, he goes to the line, he shoots 88%.
One of the best. Spurs by 9. Timeout, San Antonio.
ESPN's presentation of NBA Wednesday. Brought to you by the new 2011 Ford F-150, built Ford tough.
Service to the community means a lot to San Antonio Spurs. I think the guys' favorite community projects to be involved in are anything involved with the wounded soldiers. That's been great to see these guys who are very young and have gone to war and come back. It's fun to go out and be able to put a smile on someone's face, kind of give back to them a little bit, knowing as much as they've given to us.
One of the great citizens, not just of the NBA, but of sports in America the last decade, Tim Duncan, talking about that San Antonio community. Spurs lead here in Denver by 9. Mike Tirico, Hubie Brown with you for the second part of our NBA Wednesday doubleheader. In the first game, the Orlando Magic handed the Knicks a fourth consecutive loss, beating New York 111-99 at the Garden. So subs out of the timeout. Parker drives into a wall of white jerseys. And Wilson Chandler gets it to Lawson. Put the speed on for 2.
Now, he just went against 3 guys. 1 against 3 on the break, and he made that look easy. But that was that last spurt once he got about 10 feet away from the rim.
Matt Bonner did check in. Beg your pardon, my mistake. Bonner got McDyess at that last timeout. And a kick will keep it down here with the Spurs.
Now the fast break scoring tonight, 17-2, and this makes it 19-2 in favor of Denver. They're in this game because of that and their foul shooting, 20 out of 25 on the foul line.
Chandler got Splitter on the head, and a foul called on Wilson.
Now if you're a San Antonio fan, you're really happy with your shooting percentage. You're 52% from the field, and then in three-point shooting, 10 for 18. You're shooting it at 56%. Now everything is going in your favor right now.
One more for Splitter. This was a young man who was stashed overseas, wasn't told to come over for a couple of years. And the Spurs bring him over this year. And the thought was, after being the MVP of the regular season and the finals in the Spanish League, that he'd come right into the rotation. But he had a calf injury, missed training camp, fell behind, wasn't with the defensive rotations. That's so important, Hubie, for this San Antonio team. And then the hamstring injury really held him back. And it's why he wasn't a part of this great start of the year.
Plus, as you know, Mike, he's trying to learn the terminology of what you're trying to do here. And we all know that the way that San Antonio plays, learning the defensive rotations and everything is extremely difficult. Now tonight, I like what he's doing. He has 7 rebounds, and that's what Pops has been in the game for, is with the rebound situation. Now we know that they're running he and Blair in and out, and as long as they get that rebounding here tonight, and Blair can give them some points off the bench, which he gave them 6, Pop will be happy.
Splitter goes to the bench with 4 fouls. Blair checks back in. Lawson, after a great job of moving the ball side to side by the Nuggets to get it inside for 2.
Mike, when he blows to the rim, it's amazing. It's like the parting of the sea. And he makes it look so easy. And yet he's going in and he's challenging bigger people.
Smaller Spurs team. Jefferson got inside. And the veteran able to draw the foul as he was banged underneath.
Mike, with all the trapping of Ginobili and Parker, Hill and Jefferson have got to be able to get to the rim or get into the paint to force the defense to rotate, and then they can kick out or get a possible high percentage shot.
As Jefferson shoots, New Orleans Phoenix, NBA TV on Friday night. Phoenix against Dallas and Portland, Oklahoma City, our ESPN Sunday night doubleheader. TNT will have the Spurs hosting Boston and the Lakers Dallas next Thursday. And our next ABC NBA Sunday showcase, see the Suns visiting the Spurs and the Nuggets at the Lakers. Speaking of the Suns, a nice comeback against Toronto in Phoenix. What's the bottom line as that game is in the final seconds? Phoenix in desperate need of a victory tonight as they try to battle for that last playoff spot. Martin put it on the deck with a skyhook over Blair.
Well, I like the fact that he surveyed everything. He was looking for the cutters and the open people. When nothing was open, then he challenged his man. He's got a nice game off the dribble, but it's just so infrequent.
Is this the chant of defense in Denver? Blair to the basket, challenged by Harrington. Fouled by Al. It'll put the Nuggets over the limit with 4:24 in the third.
Now that's what you like to see. Anytime that your man gets trapped. When the man gets trapped, that he finds a favor. Here we have on a good drive by Harrington going to the basket. But at the other end, you see the trap. Now there's the roll guy. Harrington was late. When you ever trap and the man is rolling to the front of the rim, the guy playing the man in the other corner, you've got to get into the paint and pick that man up. Now you say, well, that's a long distance to come. That's why you're trapping. That's your job.
They have the guys they can do it with. They have athletic players on that back line.
And it'll get better. It'll get better from game to game, because what you're trying to do out here, you're trying to hide the fact that you're playing two guys under 6 foot in Felton and Lawson.
It says here Felton 6'1". Harrington knocks down the outside shot.
Harrington had a great first half. He came in and gave them good 14 points. What they need for him now is also to play some good defense on the back line. There you go.
Blair got turned away, but the corner three makes him pay with George Hill.
Anytime that you trap, the roll guy has to be picked up. If you cut off the roll guy, the corners are open.
Lawson turned away by Blair. So Felton will initiate from the top, using his speed, and draws the foul that puts the Spurs over the limit with 3.5 to go. We were talking about that Suns game. You saw on the bottom line perhaps a moment ago. Phoenix does come back to win that game, and Aaron Brooks had a huge game for them. Very important. Suns stay 2 behind Memphis for the 8th seed in the West, 2 in the loss column. That 8th team will likely face the Spurs in the opening round. Felton misses. You won't miss a game in the race for the playoffs if you get NBA League Pass, now available for the lowest price of the season. NBA.com/League Pass, or call your local cable, satellite, or telco provider. Felton misses both. He's been poor shooting his free throws here in Denver. 12 of 25 since becoming a Nugget.
You know, at the beginning of the game when I said that San Antonio was #1 shooting the 3 ball at 40%, and then at the other end, Denver was #3 shooting at 38%. Little did we realize we'd see one of the great shooting matches, of the season.
Yes. Nice moves inside by Kenyon Martin. Kind of reminds you of some of the skills when he was the first overall pick of the 2000 draft by New Jersey. George Hill. Spurs have hit so many perimeter shots, 3s and deep 2s. Felton responds with, Lawson. Felton with the 3 off the Lawson feed, I should say, 89-82. Good job by Felton to fight over the screen and get to Hill. But Blair missed the dunk inside.
We've seen 3 guys miss. Look at this. Oh, brother.
Should have been an end one, too.
Yeah. And now that's just athletic quickness in the open floor. He just blew by. Now you can see Lawson wanted to foul. Rightfully so. He definitely got hit on that shot.
From 10 down to 5, just like that. Kicked by Kenyon Martin. George Karl showing some of those hands that he had when he played with the Spurs and was part of a North Carolina Final Four team 39 years ago.
That's a great move. Now just watch. See, Martin's got a lot of nice moves down inside. He can play with his back to the basket. This is an excellent kick out looking for the 3 ball. And we tell you now, Lawson and Felton both will shoot the 3 if you give it to them. And that's what they do best. Both guys take you off the dribble with that shot clock down.
Jalen Rose talking about the Michigan left and the Michigan right. JB had to stay in Michigan playing for the Pistons. You see North Carolina fans, they're glad to see this backcourt of Lawson and Felton doing a nice job here again for the Nuggets, combining for 20 points here tonight. Jefferson inside is fouled by J.R. Smith, who just came off the bench at the timeout.
If you're wondering why George Karl is playing the two of them together, Mike, you just told them about the 20 points, but they both have 5 assists. And the thing about this game, turnovers, very few turnovers. Denver only has 6 turnovers playing at this pace, and San Antonio only has 7. So give a lot of credit to the guards for handling the ball with this type of trapping and also the speed of the game.
Richard Jefferson from Arizona. He'll watch with great interest as his Wildcats, led by Sean Miller, take on Duke in a Sweet 16 match tomorrow. San Diego State, UConn, Butler, Florida, among those games tomorrow. I should say Butler, Wisconsin, Florida, BYU. 4-game slate tomorrow. Harrington over Bonner, knocks it down.
They wanted that. They were looking for the pick and roll, but once they didn't get the pick and roll, they just reversed the ball and posted Harrington. He's on fire here tonight. He's got 18 points and really doing an excellent job.
5 of 6 from the field. Jefferson. Pass to Blair, deflected out of bounds. They say touched last by Denver. 8 to shoot for San Antonio. And here comes Gary Neal in off the bench of Coach Greg Popovich. There you see it was off the hands of Felton last.
Yeah, too fancy a pass in traffic. No way could McNice even see where the ball was coming from. Now Gary Neal, remember, in that first half at 17 points, 6 for 7 from the floor, but 4 for 4 in threes.
Blair on the catch. Neal a 3. Rebound Kenyon Martin. Denver started the quarter 1 of 8. And our stat man, the great Marty Aronoff, reminds us the Nuggets have hit their last 8. Their last 9. As J.R. Smith makes it a 3-point game.
He's just been a ball of fire here tonight. He's got 16, and he's shooting a very high percentage.
Ginobili, nice angle inside. And that unorthodox but effective left-handed finish. Lawson and Felton. 2 guys who can penetrate. Look at Lawson fighting for another board with Blair. Fans want to call, don't get one. Ginobili missed the 3. Shot clock virtually synced with the game clock. Felton had the advantage. And the foul is called. Felton hit the deck very hard as he tripped over Neal.
With Felton and Lawson in the game, it reminds you of down the park where you're playing first team to 11 baskets. They are so quick in changing ends here. They don't care if you got 2 guys back. You can see the black shirts right there. It's 1 against 2, and they're giving you size. Both guys love the contact. And this guy coming in off the bench, he and Harrington have just been great tonight. Between them, they have 30 points.
First 5 years with Charlotte, and played a lot too. Only missed 11 games in those 5 years with the Bobcats. Did Raymond Felton, the 5th overall pick. There are a lot of high lottery picks on this team. Gallinari, a 6th overall pick. Kenyon Martin, a 1. Nene, a 7. Felton, a 5. Shot clock off.
They're putting the pressure on you to find the 3 guys.
Bonner, a 3. Neal beat the clock. End of 3. The Nuggets outscored San Antonio by 2 in that 3rd quarter.
Well, we like the way that the game is going. It's just an exciting. There's definite. I'm taking you to the rim. I don't care about body contact. The big thing right now, find the free man.
Were you happier with the defense in the 3rd quarter?
Yeah, it's going to be a team, and it's going to have 4 or 5 minutes of good defensive plays. I thought we got a better rhythm. We still aren't there. They're a great offensive team. They find the open man as well as anyone in basketball.
You think you'll stay with Lawson and Felton deep in the 4th?
I would think so right now. I think right now our offense is limited. Our penetration, pick and roll game is our best game.
Thanks, George.
Michael, you look good.
Thanks. My old partner, you see. Comparing ties. I'm glad he's really uptight about this game. You know, Hubie, it is great to see. Think about a year ago, George Karl battling cancer, had to leave the team for the end of the year, not there for the playoffs, and he looks good, feels good, and sounds good. You can hear it in his voice as he comes back.
Well, he's rejuvenated with this trade, Mike, and we know that we were up here a number of times during that episode, and it was extremely depressing for the coaching staff as well as for the players themselves.
Yeah, this is a little card his daughter Casey did for him. Dear Dad, you should like your team. Talking about the new group that he has. Casey, youngster, just preschool, kindergarten age. Nene's going to pick up a foul after Felton. That's 2 quick fouls here to start the fourth quarter. But, we got to know George very well before he came here to Denver when he was working with us at ESPN. And that intensity and fire is still there as he coaches game number 1729 of his NBA career here tonight. Two-man game with Neal and Blair, and another knockdown three for Gary Neal. 5 of those and 20 points tonight.
Mike, right now, Ginobili has 20, Neal has 20, and Parker has 15. That's 55 out of 3 guards.
Nene battling Bonner inside, and Matt Bonner will be called for the foul. Gary Neal, 5 of 6 shooting threes here tonight.
Well, I like the fact that he does not hesitate. He's an excellent catch and shooter. He does not need to make the catch and dribble once in order to take care of the distance. He's an excellent receiver of the pass, and then the flow of the shot is beautiful.
One more for Nene Neal, a 26-year-old rookie out of Towson who spent 2 years at LaSalle, then went overseas after his college days were done. Spent the last 3 seasons in Italy and Spain and Turkey. Opened eyes in the summer league, and he kept looking around camp. This guy kept playing well, didn't back down, and has knocked down 110 three-pointers on the season.
I just think that he's going to be a major asset as we move along. I'm not worrying about him at playoff time because he's a very cool player.
Here he is again. That time faked the 3.
Nice.
Hill a 3. Rebound J.R. Smith. Saw Harrington leaking out there, but decided to hold on to it.
Now, once again, you can see over on the other side, you got a mismatch. See, Hill is playing Harrington. No way can he match up. That's going to force the double team. Now, when you get that double team, Harrington's got to look at that and say, hey, on the other side of the floor, they have 2 guys who are wide open. You got to find them. See, watch it right here. He's not going to let him front him. Force the double team. Now, you got to pass out of there. You pass the ball out of there. The ball traveling will beat them rotating on the baseline.
Every time. Felton. Off the mark. Blair gets the rebound for the Spurs. As you look at this Spurs team, and Hubie, this is something Greg Popovich said to us, you know, we are small sometimes.
Yes, they are.
Out on the floor. Felton fighting Ginobili, 3rd foul. Felton's got to be very careful here that he doesn't overreact.
Well, see, Felton and Lawson get up into you. They get up into you and play you tough. Now, I just thought he thought that he got the deflection clean. He did, but the body contact, that's what the call was on. The body contact once the ball was recovered.
Team fouls here in the first 100 seconds of the quarter. 3 on Denver, 2 on San Antonio. Gonna have a lot of free throws in the 4th. Bonner high off the window. Matt Bonner mixed a little more inside into his game to go with that great 3-point shooter.
Now, that was an excellent pass by Ginobili.
Yes, it was. Felton past Ginobili. Hill was waiting. Manu able to kick it out of there.
I'm surprised because they had another mismatch. They got to hit Chandler when the guards switch on him in the post, Mike.
Squeeze it out of the hands of Hill. Good quick hands there by J.R. Smith. Denver led 3-2. Since then, it's been all Spurs. J.R.
Well, they got away with that one. They got away with the postman, Blair, on setting that screen defensively, laying back. That was a wide open shot.
Bonner. Oh, what a rebound by Blair. Was blocked by Chandler. And Nene able to save it for Denver.
Yeah, that's one asset of Chandler. Chandler can block shots.
Nuggets not sorted out on this offensive end the last couple of trips. Harrington. After the huge first half for Al Harrington, he adds a three. He has 21 points and a timeout, San Antonio.
San Antonio, they just got to regroup here right now. You can't fall asleep on Harrington, and you know it. You can't fall asleep on Smith because they are looking for the three ball first, and that was just excellent team play.
ESPN's presentation of NBA Wednesday, brought to you by the all-new Kia Optima, official vehicle of the NBA.
San Antonio Spurs led by 10 after the first. Denver cut the lead down to 5 at the break, 3 after 3. Right now the Spurs on top by 4. 57-13 with the NBA's best record. And Hubie, we've seen 21 three-point shots made tonight. 21 of 43.
I like the timeout. Pop knows that he had to give this group a break, because not only do you want to change the tempo, slow this Denver team down, but you got to give your guys a breather. You're playing small here now with Ginobili at small forward, and you've been doing this now for about the last 5 minutes.
Hill dropped the initial pass, no good. Harrington battling inside with McDyess, and Antonio's going to be called for the foul.
Denver is rejuvenated. Harrington not only is scoring the ball, but he's making his presence felt. He's not getting a lot of rebounds, but at least he's in there fighting to get a deflection.
Guy who was slumping, was slowed by some Achilles problems. He's looked great the last couple of games getting out of this funk. Well defended by McDyess, no foul.
See, Nene's got to say something to him right now.
Right.
Because Nene had Blair posted below the below the defensive circle in the paint. And he had him on his back. You've got to give the big guy the ball when he's that close. He's the #1 field goal percentage shooter in the league at 62%.
And it's a big foul, Hubie, because it is 5 on Antonio McDyess.
They can't lose him.
Nope.
They can't lose him because he spreads the defense and makes you play and honor that 15 to 18-foot range. Because Blair doesn't have it, and neither the splitter. They don't have that range.
But for the moment, Popovich leaving him out there. This Spurs team has not had a player disqualified by fouls all year. Well, the Nuggets not making them pay at the line. 23 of 33. 10 misses for Denver this season.
How about that? They've been to the line 33 times. That's why they're #1. 33 times with 8 minutes still on the clock.
McDyess with the jumper, rimmed it out. You surprised that he's leaving McDyess out there with 5 fouls?
No, because that's Pop. Now he's coming with Bonner now.
Yeah. Felton from 16.
Yeah. This is the guy that's got to get over the fact that he missed 2 games with a bad ankle. Right now he's starting to feel it. He's 4 for 8, and he's got 2 for 3 in threes. He's got 12 points already.
Oh, what a block by Chandler. He came over to get the block on Neal, and on the backside of it, foul here on the Spurs.
Now, remember what we said about this guy Chandler? He does a lot of things. He's got a 3-point game, a mid-range game, good foul shooter. That was Chandler's 5th block in this game. 5 blocks for your 2 guard. Not bad.
DeJuan Blair picked up the foul. It's his 2nd. Spurs are over the limit. Nene comes to the line. As mentioned, McDyess goes to the bench for San Antonio. Nene shoots 2. Wow. Brutal night at the line, but not off the bench.
Well, you can see not only the points, but it's the shooting percentages. And then the three-point field goal shooting. These 3 guys can score the ball and get a ton of points for you night in and night out.
Despite 11 missed free throws, Nuggets down 1. Ton of time left, and foul trouble for the Spurs, with McDyess having 5.
They're trying to run Ginobili off the baseline.
Nuggets with a chance to take the lead.
Yeah, I like the play call. They ran him off a staggered screen. He got a screen on one side of the lane, screen on the other. He was wide open.
J.R. Smith gives Denver a 1-point lead.
They've been waiting. They've been waiting. Remember we told you, in this building, they are relentless.
Ginobili attacks.
Oh, he got fouled.
Blair cleaned it up. Missed it, though.
Can't miss those. That's the third one that San Antonio has missed. That was a sure layup. You can't miss those in a game this close.
They come to double Harrington, who swings it.
There you go.
Felton has Bonner, wants to take it.
Nice.
Harrington a 3.
There. Now, by Harrington giving it up, think about it. To the other corner, to outside, to the other side. Dribble, and that reopened you.
He got it back.
That's right, they got it back. Great team play.
11 in a row, Denver.
Good defense that time by Chandler on Parker.
Parker and Ginobili time. When he missed.
When the team is on the road and you're rallying, just force them to take the jumpers.
Felton with the air ball. Foul J.R. Smith, Denver. 14th foul recorded for the Nuggets. The under 6 timeout arrived.
Now remember we told you, when you come off the bench with Harrington, Felton, and Smith, these guys are all scorers. Now he'll wear you out now until he gets his shot. Ginobili played him extremely tough, but once again, J.R. is in a rhythm tonight. Now this is a great move. Take it in, 3 defenders, kick it to the corner, wide open for a 3.
Nuggets led 3-2, and not until now are they on top again. Denver's outscored San Antonio 38-29 in the second half to take a 4-point lead. ESPN's exclusive coverage of the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship continues. Sweet 16 action beginning Saturday. Ohio State takes on the number 1 seed Tennessee, and Oklahoma will take on Notre Dame. And Saturday, you'll have 2 more games Saturday night and 4 games on Sunday, the Sweet 16. Part of our attempted trophy coverage of the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship.
Now, a big point right now. San Antonio struggling with the 3 ball.
Until now.
Now, they needed that. Now, in the first half, they were 9 for 14. They are now 4 for 14 in this half. They needed that one, not only to close the score, but also to get their confidence in the perimeter game.
Tony Parker going to pick up a foul over here. Had an arm under Nene. And we have more free throws for Denver. Spurs have been over the limit for most of this fourth quarter.
Now Denver has stayed in this game. On the fast break, they're 21-2 in fast break points. But they've also made 24 foul shots. When they finish these 2, they will have shot 37 foul shot attempts, and we still have 5.5 minutes to go. But if you don't make them, it doesn't matter.
You're missing 12 of them right now.
That's right.
By the way, that 3 by Gary Neal a moment ago gave him 23 points, sets a career high, had 22 earlier in his rookie season. That missed everything. Or barely grazed the rim. Nene has really struggled at the line here in the second half.
Yeah, he's 4 for 8. And he's been doing a good job this year, shooting at over 70% from the line.
McDyess back in with 5. He came up short on the shot. Like the first half.
See, they're getting that shot, Mike. That Pop is staying with him. He's his best guy from 12 to 18 feet of the big people.
Felton. They went under the screen, and Felton knocked it down from the top. Extends the lead back to 3.
Both of these little guys, Lawson and Felton, you go under the screen on them, they have the green light to shoot it.
On the switch, Nene guards Parker. Goes right at him. And scores.
Beautiful. Beautiful. See, from now to the end, Parker and Ginobili have got to lead this team.
Yes.
You are very small. You have McDyess, Jefferson, and Ginobili up front.
Harrington, 3 more.
Baby.
What a night for Al Harrington. Season high is 31.
5 for 5 in threes. The 3-ball.
Foul on Denver. Harrington has 27 points here tonight. He's only missed 1 shot. Nene will check out. Kenyon Martin gives that little salute to Harrington before he checks in for Nene. And J.R. Smith out for Wilson Chandler. One more for Antonio McDyess, who signed as a free agent here with Denver. Played 4 years here, where those knee problems really started. Knocks down both.
Mike, when he came in the league, he was one of the most explosive players we had.
Yep.
For him, he did a number of 20-20s, 20 points, 20 rebounds before the injuries.
Ginobili tries to guard a red-hot Harrington. Kenyon Martin crashed the glass. McDyess the rebound.
I like that. I like what they're playing right there. Gave you a look like a real zone effect.
Parker tied up by Chandler, and he scored anyway.
That's Tony. That's why you say Ginobili and Tony have got to lead them, because they can break the defense down and they can get to the line.
Harrington, he's missed his last 2 shots. Look at Lawson chasing down another rebound and getting the timeout with 3:31 to go. That's the 3rd time tonight. Smallest guy on the floor is underneath everybody getting some rebound.
Well, you have to give Pop and San Antonio a lot of credit here, mainly because they're playing so small. They have such a small unit out there. Now, this is just a great move by Tony Parker. This is he at his best. That's a jump hook floater into the face of the defense. Now, this one, he goes right up and in. And how about the scoop going right underneath the defense?
And the spin.
Oh, I'm telling you.
It's just all time. Have to go. Partner, we only have 3 weeks left of the regular season, and then the playoffs, and you're going to get a bunch of good matchups like this. I love what I'm seeing out of Denver when you think about them as a playoff team going forward.
Well, right now, if we started the playoffs, it'd be Oklahoma City and Denver. That would be a great series. Yeah. And mainly because game by game, this Denver team is going to get better, Mike. The defense will tighten up. Guys will know what, how they're coming in, how many minutes they're going to get, and then also the veteran players will get to know the little idiosyncrasies of the guys who have just come here from New York. They'll get better at playing the chemistry game.
You can go with your hot hands, too, as he is here. Lawson working on Neal, shot clock at 3. Felton got the 3.
Once again, why are they in there together? That's why. Because the one guy, Lawson, breaks the defense down. 3 guys cut him off. That opened up the 3-point game. Just beautiful.
The Denver bench has scored 62, as you see tonight. That's the difference with this team now. McDyess inside is fouled by Harrington. Free throws the rest of the way. Just to talk about Raymond Felton and Ty Lawson and their work together one more time. Remember, the last couple of games, Lawson's been out, but this is something George Karl has seen, that these guys can work together down the stretch of the game.
And they're both unselfish, Mike. They'll give the ball up. Now, right there, that was a costly miss. Now, they are 20 for 23 on the line right now, San Antonio. That's kept them in there because they were shooting it at 91%. Big thing now is stops. Stops at both ends of the floor.
Nuggets trying to stay a game ahead of Portland in the loss column for the 5 spot. What a feat by Felton. Ginobili blocked Kenyon Martin.
4 on 2.
And Neal a 3. Rebound Chandler.
Now, when you get in a situation like that, you got to make that shot. You got to make that shot because you had a 4 on 2 situation.
Felton's hurt over here. He may have re-injured his ankle, and George Karl walks down to midcourt to get the timeout call. Ed Malloy's coming down to get it, and he hurt it. As Jim Gillen, the athletic trainer, comes to check on Raymond Felton. Timeout. Needed that timeout. He had a left ankle sprain where he's missed the last couple of games, but comes on out for this possession, so he'll stay in the game. Spurs have a magic number of 5 to clinch the #1 seed in the West. 7 ahead of the Lakers in the loss column, 12 to go. See Denver trying to stay ahead of Portland, chasing from behind here for that 5 spot in the West. Shot clock at 8. Harrington's been hot. Jefferson guarding. What a move to the left by Harrington. Martin comes over the back and fouls McDyess.
Yeah, McDyess is a horse. He's an excellent rebounder, always has been throughout his career, and he caught Martin on his back. There was no doubt about that call. That was an easy call. You see right over the back. This is all about little defensive plays now, this last 2 minutes and 24 seconds. You don't want to give up a second shot attempt. You do not want to give up a fast break layup from now to the end.
McDyess was put in the starting lineup by Greg Popovich about 10 games ago for this purpose. He's limited his minutes, under 20 here in the regular season. He's going to play more playoff minutes. He kept the miles off a guy who's played 1,000 games, but he's going to need him for hard minutes in the playoffs. Tied at 110.
And plenty of time here.
Lawson sizing up Parker. Martin the tip in.
Oh, boy.
And Parker took a shot in the midsection.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that was close. Whether Ginobili or Martin knocked it in, or they both knocked it in. Okay, there's your switch. You got your mismatch here.
Parker takes Martin. Kicks to Jefferson. Didn't shoot it. Drives it in. Parker will take the 3. Rebound McDyess to Neal. Oh, floater.
Look at
McDyess, an animal on the board. Neal to follow. What a hustling trip by the Spurs.
What did we just say about second shot attempts? Spurs just got 3 second shots because of the incredible aggressiveness of McDyess to keep things alive.
Neal adds to his season/career high. 25 here tonight. Lawson tried to hit Harrington. Didn't have it.
Got rid of a...
Felton
got away with a push-off.
Neal gets the rebound.
Right now, these refs are going to let it. They're going to say, hey, come on. As long as it isn't blatant, you can have the physical contact there.
Spurs playing their first game without Tim Duncan out, probably for the next 3 games after tonight. Parker for the lead. Martin the rebound. Final 48 seconds. George Karl wants him to go, wants him to push. Fans on their feet at the Pepsi Center. Denver for the lead. Lawson on the take. Knocked out of bounds. 11 on the shot clock.
Now, first, that was a great move by the pass-off to give Lawson the angle. I thought he had a clear path. How about the defensive recovery? And then McDyess coming over and making a great play. Look at this. Here comes McDyess right here. Excellent defense.
Better defense, lower scoring in the second half. Al Harrington nearing a season high. Gary Neal a career high by 3. Both benches have been big. QB 11 on the shot clock.
The big thing right now is that you want the penetration, and then if the defense converges, then you kick out.
Wilson Chandler watched by Ginobili, goes into the lane, pulls up, and hits.
That's the mid-range game. I'll tell you, this young guy's got a lot of talent, and that was a primetime shot. You know that out on the floor, you got Lawson, and then you got, and then you also have Chandler for off the dribble.
5.3 difference game in shot clock. Ginobili and McDyess a 2-man game. Manu steps back for 3 in the lead. Short. Rebound Chandler, you got a foul. Gets it.
Yeah, you got to get to him.
Felton, but he's fouled with 9.5 remaining in regulation.
Now, that was a good shot, a high percentage 3 by Ginobili, and he went for it, but he left it short. but they have had difficulty in this half. Now this is a great move by Chandler. He gets the bump on Ginobili, and he created the distance. And once he got that space, he's got the good mid-range soft jump shot.
The foul on McDyess. That's his sixth. So McDyess is fouled out, and it's the first time this year a San Antonio Spur has fouled out of the game. It only took 71 and no Tim Duncan. Nuggets have been poor at the line tonight. Felton guides that one in. And here comes the big one. Something with Parker or Ginobili on that board, huh? There's the miss. Martin kept it alive. Tipped, but kept it alive by the Spurs. Timeout taken with 6.5 to go. The deflection and the possession here, so San Antonio gets the timeout, and they cannot advance the ball to the front court.
That's correct.
Because of the deflection.
Correct.
So they've got to go the whole court, and Ed Malloy's explaining that to Greg Popovich right now. Timeout, Spurs down 3. Be right back for the finish here in Denver. Workman,
yes,
the officials on that deflection there, keeping the ball down here with San Antonio. 3-point lead. Let's remind you, we have Portland, Oklahoma City, Dallas, Phoenix, all teams in the playoff mix for a Sunday night doubleheader. So after you watch the college hoops, come on over for 2 very good and very important NBA games here on ESPN.
Now, the big thing for George Karl and Denver is you cannot allow anyone now on a ball screen. You have to be up and switch. You cannot allow a guy to step back and shoot a 3. And the big thing right now, the old story, if they're going to drive the ball to the basket, let them go to the basket.
San Antonio, what they do here is they had the ball down there, but then burn a second timeout to advance it to the front court.
Now they're out of timeout. Right. Big key right now, you've got to get the ball inbound. And remember, do not leave Neal, who's inbounding the pass, mainly because of the fact that you are going to get a return pass because he's one of the hottest guys in the game.
They went
shooting a 3.
3 to 1 timeout, then come out here and burn the last one. So now they're out, 6.5 to go. San Antonio ball in the front court. We'll be right back. With 6.5 seconds to go. Let's see what the Spurs will do here when they come out of this timeout. Given the way the game has gone, the story early was all the 3-pointers they made. It has not been as good here in the second half, but we know the rookie Gary Neal has hit a couple of big shots in the fourth quarter.
Well, that's the old story, Mike. When that ball goes in, you cannot lose sight of Neal. We all know that throughout the day, San Antonio has 6 guys who shoot over 40%. Now, on the inbounds pass, San Antonio has a 20-second timeout left. Denver has a full timeout.
Denver comes with some of their size now. They go with the 2 short guards in Lawson.
They got a matchup. All right, now they just changed. They got Hill taking the ball out of bounds so that Neal will be involved in some type of movement.
Hill to inbound with 6.5 to go. Throws it to the backcourt to Ginobili, watched by Martin. Need a 3. Ginobili for the 3 and the tie way off. Well defended by Martin. That's it. The Denver Nuggets improved to 11-4 since the trade, undefeated at home, and they hand San Antonio its 14th loss on the season.
Mike, that was outstanding defense by Denver. As Ginobili broke through and came up, Denver switched, and then you had Martin on Ginobili chasing him into the backcourt. You say, what's the big deal? The 3 had to go up, but the positioning and the height of Martin, it drew Ginobili off, and you could see he shot an air ball to the right side of the rim.
One last look at the Ginobili attempt with Martin switched on him. UB 69 points for the Spurs in the first half, but only 43 in the second half.
Well, they could not maintain that high percentage of making the 3 ball, and that's what left them in the second half. Also, where they were cut down defensively, no dribbling in on the layups for Parker or Ginobili. They took away the layup game, and they cut them back in the 3-point shooting percentage game.
So now the Spurs lead by 6 in the loss column with 11 to go in the Western Conference playoff chase. Meantime, the Nuggets remain a game ahead of Portland in the loss column in the battle for number 5. With Hubie Brown, Mike Tirico, our final score tonight. Denver rallies from down 14 to beat San Antonio. 115-112. Good night from Denver. Now here's Sports Center.